Hey there, I'm Tori Beach, and I'm a solo wedding videographer. In a previous video, I talked about all the gear that I have, but in this video, I want to touch on my favorite pieces of gear. The first piece of gear that I have to talk about right out the gate is my camera. This A7S is my absolute favorite piece of gear. I shot for a long time on a camera that was not equipped for what I needed it to do. So having a camera that works in all the ways that I need it to, it works well in low light, it shoots beautiful slow motion, it just takes stunning footage all the time, is such a breath of fresh air. And it also is a bonus that it's small. I like that this camera is compact. It also feels very sturdy, but it fits nicely in my hand and it does not weigh a ton. Something that I look for in all of my gear is being small and lightweight. And part of that is because I need it to fit into one bag because I carry that bag all day. So the lighter it can be, the better, and the smaller it can be, the more I can put in my bag. Now, with a camera, you have to have a lens. So the lens that is my absolute favorite would be my 50mm. I shoot all my weddings with my 50mm. Now, other than the ceremony and maybe a few other shots with some different cameras, most of what you see in all of my films is shot on my 50mm. And that's because in my eyes, it's just perfect. It is so beautiful. It constantly gets gorgeous shots. And yes, it is a prime lens, so I do have to move myself forward or away in order to get a close-up or a wide shot. But honestly, other than that, I love it. And I love that every time that I shoot with it, it just continues to give me consistent footage. It always looks great. It always looks sharp. This is by far my favorite lens. My next favorite piece of gear is my monopod, and currently I am using a Liebeck monopod. It's also freestanding, which I love about it, but this monopod is great because it gives me the stability that I need when shooting, but it's also small and light enough that I don't feel that I have to lug around large pieces of gear. I can get into small, tight places, and it just is the perfect size for me. This monopod offers so much. I love the head that is on it, and it allows me to get panning shots. Also, I love the fact that it is a freestanding monopod, which means that I can just let it stand there by itself and I don't have to worry about it. Granted, I do always have it nearby just in case somebody were to bump it because it's not as sturdy as a tripod, but I actually do use it in place of a tripod during the ceremony, which is also really nice because that means I don't have to carry around 2 tripods just to shoot the ceremony. So this monopod is for sure a favorite. And last but certainly not least, my next favorite piece of gear is my gimbal. I love this thing. It is very small and compact, which means I can stick it in a small little case with all of its accessories and it fits perfectly in my bag, and I know that everything is there ready to go. A lot of gimbals are really heavy and I would not be able to shoot for very long without getting worn out or starting to get shaky footage. So the fact that this is super light and is easy for me to maneuver and to use for long periods of time is a huge, huge bonus. The shots that I can get with this gimbal make my films so much better. I love the movement, I love the wide angle, and of course with this being the RX0, it matches perfectly with my other Sony cameras, so I'm not having to mess around color matching my footage together. I love my gimbal. I love the shots that I'm able to get with it. It adds such a cinematic and dynamic feature to my wedding videos, and it's just perfect. So there's just a few of my favorite pieces of gear. One thing that they have in common is that they're very light, and the other thing is that they're small. Those are things that I definitely look for in my gear because I will have to be carrying it and shooting on it all day, and I don't want to wear myself out by using really heavy gear. And these 4 things just happen to be some of my absolute favorite pieces. What questions do you have for me? Do you have any suggestions for a future video? If so, I would love to hear them, so please feel free to leave all comments and suggestions in the comment section below. Thanks so much.